Park.
Hold the mayo. It's time for Mke Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mke, Defo and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mke Mayo.
I want the flim flam sauce with the awesome fave, with shafafa on the side.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another Friday Fun Day edition of the Lunchbox. We are at 10 Palms, Gulfstream Park. Mke Lubie's on the mixing board. He'll be visible in a second. Jeff D. for DeForest. I'm not even going to ask you how you're doing. I'm just going to tell you how I'm doing. I couldn't be better. I'm so happy about life in general. I don't even care about I do care about what's going on in the world. There is obviously more tragedy, but that's not going to dampen my spirit. Let's drink to Friday. And look at you with your Aperol Spritz. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing well. Did a little walk of life, shortened up the distance here. Watching this 1-2 shot. Struggle to prevail in race number 1 at Gulfstream Park.
I got no action.
And the horse, wow, this is coming down to the wire. It looks
Who's
like
the
affirmed in
1-2
Alidar, and
wow, what a
affirm.
hanging rat pig that was. 1-2
Well,
shot.
let's be a little more, less,
Our great sponsors here at Gulfstream Park, home of quality racing. You're around.
Didn't take much to get you going, Mayo. I'm having the greatest week of my life, and what a rat pig.
I didn't have any money on it, but I feel bad.
I didn't have any money on the game last night, and I'm telling you what, Mke Mayo, I'm exhausted. I'm just from vicarious bets, and mind bets that I was dealing with through either handicapping commitments we had made on shows where we had a big commitment to the under in the game. The over-under is 47. What does it end up on? Oh, 47. But only after
that's insane.
After this last touchdown was erased by a centimeter, and then we felt for our buddy Sheldon G. I don't know what his stake was.
Yeah, friend of the show, Vegas man, heavy-duty
Notice
gambler.
He hasn't been on the chat line.
No, he's. I hope they're talking him down from a roof somewhere in Vegas.
I'm sure he can absorb these kind of losses.
Made a huge bet on the Ravens getting 3 points. He bet it early, and he thought if they end up getting that touchdown, and then they're going to go for 2. Win or lose, he's a winner. Right?
That's what you want.
He doesn't even have to fit through overtime, Mayo.
Look, me and you.
A miracle, too. I mean, a series of miracles we haven't seen since Joey was playing at Dania High.
Since Georgia Tech beat UM, that was a series of miracles.
That was stupidity.
That was last year. Defo, me and you are used to losing by a nose or a whisker, but we've never lost by a toe before. Right?
That was tough. I mean, that was the toughest of beats. It replaces Argentine tango for me.
Here's the thing.
The professor has a time that the Black Panther Party stage a campus sit-in and cost them a very easy win to lose on a basketball game.
We've gotten DQ'd out of our share with inquiries. Some of them bad, some of them not so bad.
This stuff happens. Yeah.
But well, let me ask you this: the receiver, what was his name? The guy who
likely,
unlikely.
You can't blame the guy in a
No, I am going to blame him.
Oh, really? Wow.
2 things. Number one, his feet are too big. If he just was born with smaller feet.
Well, if he was the Iron Sheik, he would have gotten away with it because the shoes would have been pointed up.
Well, no,
that's true.
Yeah, he needed to be the Wicked Witch of the West with the pointy.
You're going to see players wearing shoes like that, like they're all going to wear Iron Sheik cleats.
I think Ron DeSantis has a pair of those too.
Yeah, he actually does.
He may have actually been the Iron Sheik, Ron DeSantis.
Or
may he rest in peace, the real Iron
Sheik. If not born with smaller feet, at least cram your feet into a smaller shoe. If he had just worn an 11.5 instead of a size 12. The Ravens could be winners today, and Sheldon G would be $220,000 richer.
Yeah. Oh, well, that was a tough ticket to lose. And anybody that lost on that, a couple of friends of mine said, well, I can't cry about the 400 I lost on the Ravens when this guy's got 220 up there. But
no, it's tough.
Way it shows you how difficult. I mean, look, we've said this for years, that if the line makers were running the country and were responsible for the economy, you wouldn't have that rambling BS that you got from Donnie Boy the other day about child
They would
care.
have everything right on the money.
Kamala, you wouldn't have to worry about tax breaks for this and that.
Everything
was right on the money. 47 was the over-under. 47 was the total in the game, my friend.
That's amazing.
If the bookies
first game in the year,
if they ran the country, they would wipe out the national debt and balance the budget in basically 2 weeks
Like a
because
week.
they would
Those
set,
astronauts wouldn't be at the space
they
station.
would set so many sucker lines that everybody in America would plunge their paycheck, and then boom, no more national debt. It would be really.
You know, it's amazing. So many ways to lose on these games now. It's incredible. I mean, I was tracking Derrick Henry was over under 16 and a half carries. I thought he got the ball like on every play in the first half, and it was only 10 carries.
He
It's like,
barely
wait a minute,
touched
I
the
need
ball in the
7
second
more, and they're trailing by 10.
Sarni's like Carl Sheldon.
But
See if he's
isn't it-
alive.
Isn't
He
it
can absorb these losses. Sure.
Yeah.
isn't it wacky how it seems like every NFL like game comes down to something wacky, and then that gives the whole outrage broadcast
Oh yeah, for sure.
digital world of it gives them material
Content for
for the
days,
whole week. I mean,
Yes.
people are just going to be going off about this game and that result. My view is this:
That
if
was
they-
only the first. Imagine it. That was only
But
the first game.
Right.
Now, not every game ends up like that. Some are
Nah.
lopsided one way or the other. But in general, in the NFL, shows you how treacherous this turf can be. In the NFL, I would say the majority of games are decided in the last 3 or 4 plays from the standpoint of gambling.
Yeah,
Yes.
gambling,
Over
gambling,
unders,
yes.
point spreads.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, they boil down to the last
Line.
inside the last 2 minutes in the majority of occasions.
So the thing is this: did the refs on the field call it a no catch right from the get go?
No, they called it a touchdown.
So here's
Call it a
here's
Remember,
the
they put
thing.
it on the scoreboard.
Oh, by the way, I passed on
27-26.
Mustang Bay
Oh wow!
in the first
And
race.
did it win?
No, I
It
passed
Came
on.
in third. So
I didn't know it was running.
it's
I'm
irrelevant.
looking on the board here.
But yeah, Mustang. It saved yourself
How
money.
did I not have 200 to show on Mustang Bay?
Well,
Come on, man.
We had
Probably would have put it on a win bet. But
Yeah, exactly.
no, the thing about I
So they
go
did
back
put
and
the
forth
score
on
up.
replay.
They
Okay,
gave it a touchdown.
by the rule of law and the rule book, it should not have been a touchdown because the toe did just
He was out.
barely brush the white stripe in the back.
Yes.
However, it was such a great play. What a great throw. What a great catch. He goes through the coverage. You know, the
Irrelevant, man.
Chiefs did not make a defensive play. The Ravens made a fantastic
Offensively, yeah.
play. And in my mind, it's like school ground rules is like call it a touchdown. They
School
deserve
It's out,
it.
man. If you're honest in the schoolyard, which we had to be in
I
Brooklyn,
would have
believe it
said
or
I was
not,
out.
as crooked as everybody was, as deviant in their behavior as everybody was, as unethical and unscrupulous as everybody was, when it came to sports, if
Yep.
you knew you were out, you called yourself out.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well,
And, you know, it's like it's off me was an okay thing to say, and it showed that you were playing a game with a little integrity. And you know what? The guy was out. He was out.
Yep.
So it negates all of that. You know, there's no other way to look at it. And thank goodness that they got the call correct because
Yeah, it would have changed the whole game.
you know, it would have been
to me,
a big difference in the end game. I mean, Baltimore and KC are going to be competing for the top seed probably in the AFC well throughout the season, if not all the way through. And that's a big differential right there.
Don't tell Sheldon G that you were glad that they got the right
No,
result.
I'm not.
because,
You know, I mean, look,
Oh, you want it right, yeah.
I probably, you know, he got better sleep than I did, and I was rooting for him as a friend.
yeah, after he downed a vial of Vicodin or something like that.
But people that are, I mean, it's all proportionate. I mean, look, if you had $50 on the game, you're probably cursing the fact that this call was reversed or whatever.
I had no money on the game
Yeah.
and I was only half paying attention because I got invited to this like home poker game that was actually held in a
Yeah.
private
Now, what are you
club.
doing going to underground like rounders type poker games, man? What happened?
I got
here?
invited, and it was from somebody in the restaurant business who shall remain nameless, but he took it on the chin early, and he ended up buying in a couple times. It was a cash game where everybody was like buying in for 300 or 400 at a pop
Jesus.
when they got felted, and he got felted 3 times in the first half hour, and apparently he had brought all this cash that
Felted
was
doesn't sound like it's a good thing.
well felted
never heard
in
that
poker.
term.
You've never heard it? It's a
I've never
poker
heard
term.
that term.
When you basically have your pile of chips
I feel like it
disappear
needs something
and
to do
all
with the
that
felt. That's
all
something to do
you
with the
see in
felt.
front of
felt,
you is
yeah.
the felt. That's called
sense.
getting
Oh, it's a bad
felted.
move.
Okay.
It's a very bad
I thought you were
thing.
saying he was just very aggressive and was
Racks
taking
it-
out more
well,
money.
he was very aggressive after he kept losing his entire stack. And then, unfortunately, he was saying, oh, that was the cash. I was supposed to run it down to one of my restaurants tonight. It was the server's tip money from the credit cards from the
There you
night
go.
before,
Oh, Jesus.
which
it does remind me of some stories. And we know a guy that was a waiter here at Gulfstream many years ago when they had the different configuration and they had that clubhouse restaurant, remember?
Mhm.
And it had tables inside and outside. It was very, very, popular. So the waiters at that time, I mean, I worked in some restaurants. I'm not really a big fan of this, but where you keep the receipts for the night and you turn it in at the end.
Yeah, as a
I've worked
delivery
jobs
driver,
like
I had
that
to
in
do that.
sales.
I had to do that as
You
a
know, when I
delivery
was a
driver.
vendor at Shea, you had to turn in all the money
Yep.
at the end, and you had to have everything.
Right.
So he had
job for degenerates.
he
Oh,
had
no, it's not good for
like 4,000 to show on some horse that ended up fourth, and he was on his knees in front of the screen. And it turned out that he had bet the entire day's receipts on this horse. So
is not good.
That's not good. I mean, you don't want to
No.
necessarily be at a gambling facility while you have this kind of access to
the
capital.
opposite of the Eddie Kaplan approach, which I've always
Very
adhered to at the
responsible.
racetrack.
Yeah.
Bet a little to win a lot. You don't bet a lot to win a little.
Where
back.
is Eddie K? Have you talked to him, man?
I don't know. If you find him, I'd love to get
We
him
used
out
to have
here
him on
for a
all the time. He
show.
was our baseball guy.
He's
Yeah,
disappeared like David Copperfield has
He always
disappeared.
laid low at Kaplan. One of the great
Love the
radio
guy.
broadcasters down here.
One of the first guys I met down
a
here.
real
when I
mensch of a human being. I mean, and a very sharp individual
a
also.
lawyer, a former barrister who gave up the legal
very
profession.
patient gambler. I mean, the most patient guy I've ever seen at this. I've seen many that had like tremendous discipline. Not that many, but
Not me.
not me either. I was all I could do to sit through not betting this 1-2 shot in the first
Yeah, you
race.
broke out in a cold sweat. I was a little worried.
I was happy to see the horse lose because I actually considered like keying some bets off to 7. You know, it's my favorite number, the old Mke. But yeah, he was extremely patient and would just sit chilly for like hours on end and
Yeah,
not
don't you
get
hate
up to
people
make
like
a move.
that who like can sit there for like 8 hours and just say, "I've got like 2 plays of the day," and just put their whole bankroll
That's
on
it,
that.
yeah.
And just sit there.
And then if he lost, he was willing to accept it and
Right.
go back to his room and come back the next day while in Las Vegas. That's not possible to
If
do.
we don't
man.
get action every 3 minutes, we're like Pavlov's
I'm playing video
dogs.
Keno at the bar where you know you can't win. And this guy's, I'll see you tomorrow. I got to play tomorrow in the 3rd race. And I'm like, 3rd race?
Dude, it's
Hey,
It's
3 o'clock
Tap
in the
City by then.
Meanwhile, speaking of action, let's get right to the contest. We don't have
Let's get it
to
done.
draw it out this week.
Well, what
And
was the deal last week? Who won? A newcomer.
a newcomer.
Yeah, yeah.
Who's
won it,
new-
and it was
newcomer
blue collar.
New blood.
whose last name was Swanson, Christine Swanson.
And then do you ever get to the bottom of whether they had anything to do with the Swanson?
Oh, are they related
I
to the
don't
Swansons?
know. And actually, I've forgotten to
Are
send her an
Swanson
email
frozen
that she
dinners?
even won. So
Are they still being made?
meanwhile, I got to give a reminder. There's about 12 outstanding contest winners who have
Jeez.
not redeemed their prizes yet. And Joe Beja, who's not here this week, but we're going to be joined by a new chef here.
Chef
He's
Jason.
great. Jason Gluce will be joining us in the second half of the show. But again, Joe Beja, he's very generous, but he doesn't have does not expire. He wants people to come in and hopefully redeem their prizes
There's got to
within
be a
3
time
months.
limit on it. Yeah.
I usually make it 3 months. Some of them are coming close or have already exceeded the 3-month redemption period.
No, what
So
you
again-
have to do probably is run an ad in the classifieds. And
Legal notices.
Sun Sentinel.
The only way
Yeah,
they
they're
still
old
stay.
school, yeah, they're
Yeah,
old
we're trying to find these people.
legal
Where the
notice.
hell are you? You got a free lunch coming.
No, and one of them who is outstanding and over the 3-month limit, I don't know whether to DQ him or not, James Sarney. And I don't know if he's
No,
even
he's-
eligible anymore
Sarney's
because
not
he's
coming.
kind of like
Yeah,
the
no, he's not
producer of the
coming.
show.
He sucks.
But he's not really related to any of
Can you
us.
imagine Sonny showing up here by himself?
He won
And,
5 TVs. He
Oh,
wants,
really?
he
Oh, look at
wants a
this.
remote control.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And we got
Ah,
some
a lot
food
of stuff
dropping in.
coming. Yeah.
It's the arrival of the food for
Wow.
the
Oh, what do you
Lunchbox
got
Friday.
there?
This is
It's a
the
little piece
Chilean
of
sea
sea
bass
bass.
with
That
truffle
looks
mashed
fantastic.
potatoes and
Wow.
broccolini.
Very nice. And
How we
Chilean in
describe
honor
to
of the first South
Who
American.
figures you're going to be in a
NFL game.
racetrack? I mean, you're
Sliders.
hoping to get a pretzel. And look at this. You have the
Look at this.
sea
I am
bass.
dying for these sliders
Sliders.
because
Nice.
that's
You've been dreaming
has
about
my-
that, yeah.
and there we go.
Oh,
We
that's
got,
this gentleman over
we
there.
got
yeah.
the penne alla vodka with some of the grilled blackened shrimp.
this,
Looks
sir.
beautiful.
And there's my
Defo
usual
is
chicken
having
breast,
his
man,
chicken
yeah.
breasts,
With salad dressing.
and we love
And
10
down-
Palms. Again,
and the
we're
sushi's
now in
fantastic.
the Sunshine Meat. We've passed from the Royal Palm Meat to the Sunshine Meat, racing live here at Gulfstream every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And every time there's a live racing date, 10 Palms is open for your dining pleasure. They've got great a la carte items, sushi bar, and then on Saturday they have a lunch buffet, and Sunday the world famous brunch buffet, which we of course have our contest to
Let's get
give
rocking
away
and rolling.
for a winner and a guest gets brunch for 2 on a
Voucher.
Sunday thing. It's a great thing. Oh, and before we get into that, we got to do good and welfare. Happy birthday, Bonnie DePacio.
Happy birthday, Bonnie.
Up there in North Carolina. I
She's
will
watching
be
us now.
paying you a visit soon with
Wait a minute.
the lovely Val.
It's
And-
not the Paccio?
I
Is
always said
DePacio?
DePacio, but
DePacio?
We've known her in person for
DePacio,
years. No one's ever said her
DePacio.
name.
I always say,
I'm not sure. I mean, you would know better than I would.
I
You worked
know
with her for 50
nothing.
years. I mean,
I always just call her Bonetta because she's beautiful.
she's great,
Bonetta.
man. What a beautiful person. A
Nailed
lovely
on
young
it.
lady. And
Yeah, she's
wow,
young
happy
at
at
heart.
our birthdays.
It's
Yeah.
a beautiful
love
thing.
Bonnie.
So happy birthday.
How's she digging North Carolina?
Today's the
Seems like
day.
she's okay there.
She's okay with it. She enjoys the brisk mornings and walking with her
The weather's
dog,
got to be amazing,
Violet.
and her family's
Yeah.
there, right? Her daughter's there.
Happy birthday, Bonnie. I'll
Grandkids.
give you a big birthday hug and a kiss in a couple of weeks.
Nice.
And actually, we'll doing one of the
You really
Lunchbox
are
Gulfstream
poaching
shows.
like
Yeah,
a room there?
Yes,
But
he's staying
America's
with her.
guest. That's
He's
us.
staying with her. I love that.
For 2
Val-
nights.
I love
we
that
got
she
kids
made
You're
a
okay.
vow
feeling,
to do
man.
this.
You're unbelievable.
Like
One
Val
night of
has to be like
hotel
my wife
for the
where
wedding.
She does not want to stay at people's house.
Having the
This
wedding
feels
is
like
in.
such a male move. Like,
Oh,
my
yeah.
wife would
she
never allow
invited
this.
us, and she wants to.
But I'm saying, I'm
But you're
not
supposed to
saying that.
politely decline.
I'm saying Val. I can see Val going, "Okay, Michael, sure."
That's not how it went.
My wife would never.
That's not how any
Well,
of
when,
this
when
went.
you say to somebody over the phone that's coming to town, "Hey, you're welcome to stay
Yeah,
here,"
they don't mean it.
you
Too
don't
nice.
mean it for one
They
split
don't. I
second.
hate when they take.
And
See,
if they
don't
say,
make Bonnie feel
"Okay,
bad.
good."
She's the world's nicest person. She's not like you. She doesn't have evil in her body. She actually generally met.
She may
she's very
have,
I
nice.
but
hate when
come
they
on,
say
man.
yes. I'm always like, "Yeah, you can stay here." They're like,
All right.
"Okay." I'm like,
Let's
"What?"
move on. Second good welfare.
Even
Congratulations.
Lubie is on
I
board on
hate
this
that
one,
when
man.
they
Yeah.
say
And happy 21st birthday to Joe Beja's
Nice.
daughter,
Happy
Sydney.
younger
Nice.
And
Beja.
she's enjoying her newfound drinking freedom. No more fake IDs. Now she gets to use the real one. I know how it works at FSU. She's
21.
an FSU
What do you have to
student.
be?
They're
18?
not even using it. I think I did.
She's 21.
You always have someone
And
that has one
Joe
of these kids
Beja
out.
went up. He's using some of his PTO, as they call it
Vacay
now,
days.
vacation time, paid time off. Drove up to Tallahassee for the Monday night game against Boston
For the
College.
disaster that was, yeah.
And that was a fantastic time was had by
Well, the
none.
game was horrendous, but I'm sure he had a good time. doing it with his
And
daughter
then they
in
went down
Tallahassee.
to Disney Epcot. They rented a nice little, I guess, a room cottage for the week. Some family,
Like normal people would do.
like normal people.
They didn't call somebody in
Yeah,
Orlando and go,
exactly.
"Hey, we're going to be in town."
Exactly.
I would call somebody in Kissimmee, even within a 60-mile radius.
All of a sudden, Mayo's in St.
Look,
Cloud.
I'm not fighting him. I would do the same thing. I'm just laughing because my
I don't know
wife
what
is dead
Bonnie is
set
saying.
against
Found some old
Bonnie
copy
said,
editor from the
I
Sun
truly
Sentinel. Yeah.
meant it. Of course, when I extend an invitation, I mean
Mainly
it.
for Val, not for me, because no. Look, I've been.
No,
locked
I
out.
believe she means it. I'm just saying,
She
like,
means it.
my wife is not one to take people up on that, and I presume Val is open to it, but would rather stay in a hotel.
All right, let's do the contest here. No, yeah, let's just move on.
We've only spent 20 minutes ripping you,
It's
Mayo. I
fine.
mean,
It's okay. I live.
He's
to
in a
be
We're
good
not
place,
even
so we
warmed
have to
up
bring
yet.
I'm
him
in
down
such
to
a
our
good
level, yeah.
mood.
Oh.
Like I said, I got cash in my pocket, I got cash in the bank, and I got gas in the tank. So
There you
life
go.
is good.
Sound like Donald Trump.
Oh,
I don't care about you. I only care about me.
that's it. Don't count the lies, count the eyes. Me,
Exactly.
me.
There you go. Jesus.
Here we go. Time
All
for
right.
this week's Lunchbox Gulfstream 10 Palms Sunday
Nice.
Brunch giveaway. You're going to email the answers to this week's restaurant trivia questions along with your horse selection for this week's Gulfstream contest race. And that's going to be race number 10 tomorrow. It is the start of the Florida Stallion Series, or they call it the Florida Sire Series.
Used to be
Now,
the Stallion Stakes. I
Well,
was involved in that from the very beginning with a TV show many years ago, and we had a lot invested. I'm glad
Oh,
to see you
these are
Gulfstream.
good.
It's carrying on.
2-year-olds.
Let me ask you a restaurant etiquette question.
Okay.
All right, so the orange slice comes at the top of the glass.
This is an Aperol Spritz, by the way. We
Aperol Spritz,
researched it
it's like
before
I'm
the
back
show.
in
History,
Italy. I'm back in
originations.
Italy.
What's in the Aperol Spritz, Lubie, again?
Aperol, which is made of a bunch of fruit and
Tree bark.
bark
It's made from a
and
tree bark
herbs
root.
or whatever.
Yeah, I mean,
And rhubarb.
rhubarb, which my mother used to foist upon me, and I don't know to this day how I really felt
Rhubarb
about it.
pie. I don't know how I feel
Not
It
about
had a
it.
lot of
rhubarb.
sugar on it,
It's
but
got that tree bark essence. It's got Prosecco and it's got club soda. It
the
looks
drink
great.
is fine. But now, do you eat the piece of fruit?
See, I do.
Like,
People don't.
and I don't even mind eating the peel.
No, I
But
do.
is this a Mayo move to just like kind of dunk it in the alcohol, and before you even have the drink,
There
do a big bite with the orange?
are no wrong answers. You ate
You
the
actually
peel?
eat the
You
peel. Impressive. Good for you.
I like that.
He's like
Okay,
Dan
that's
Campbell.
a freaky move right
He's like
there.
Dan Campbell.
What do you think about that? man?
Dan Campbell with the chicken wings.
I didn't know that the human body could actually digest
Hey,
the
if
orange
you have
peel.
teeth, you can chew it. Yeah,
I like it,
obviously.
yeah.
My dog would eat the peel.
I've
so
never seen that. He
I
shocked me.
haven't either. Good
For the
you,
first time in terms of food, I've seen
People
something
took-
I've never
No,
seen before.
Mayo
I'm
hasn't taken
figuring that is like completely uncool to do what
I've
I just
seen
did.
people
No, it's not great to do it.
tie the
No?
If you chew it, you'll be fine.
Like if you
you
do
know
that-
the cherry stem or the thing that
With the
I've seen
tongue.
them
I've done
tie
that
it with the
before.
tongue
I used to be able to
and
do that.
even swallow and eat that.
I've
But
never
I've never
swallowed
seen
that.
anybody actually chew
The
up.
cherry, though, is a manufactured thing. That was just like a regular orange.
Yeah.
And dunked in alcohol, like any fruit,
Yeah.
it becomes
I
that
eat
much
it.
more
I'm going to go
attractive.
with that's perfectly acceptable.
Yeah, I
What
eat
I
it.
like to do is I like to kind of
You
put
do
it
that
in
on
there.
a first date with a woman. What does she say to you?
Lose my
Your
Yeah.
eyes are mine, yeah.
I
I'll
would
pay.
actually-
I just got to get out of here.
I would dunk the orange in there and let it sit and
Yeah.
soak up
I like that
everything
too,
for
but-
like a half hour, and then pull that move and take it out, and it just.
I just
would
wanted to
eat
see what
the
you thought about that.
fibers. Well, you
I don't know if
definitely
you've written about that in the past.
have
when you
not. Have
No?
not.
All
All right. So getting back, we always seem to get
We
derailed
divert
off the
everywhere,
contest.
I had to ask you that question
no,
because
it's
you're
a
a
valid
restaurant
I
question.
think it's
guru,
actually.
and I can't believe you're going to let this fish go cold before
Well, I'm
you
going
get
to
into
wait
it.
till the break. Let's get through the
Yeah, let's get the
contest.
contest going.
The contest race. Okay, we're going to do three things. You're going to get the restaurant answer, the contest race winner, which is again Saturday's 10th race at
That's not
Gulfstream,
going
numbers
to.
1 through 8. Okay, and then we've got the tiebreaker. NFL is back, so are the Dolphins.
Could be
So
Dolphins, okay.
we're
Oh,
going to
wow.
be doing the
Gotta do that, yeah.
tiebreaker is the
interest-
winner
in-
and
interstate
the margin of this week's Dolphin opener at home against the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Jaguars.
And that's 1 p.m. game on CBS.
Who
So
you
again,
picking? Who you picking there?
I got to go with the Dolphins
I'm
by
going
13.
Dolphins.
Dolphins
by
by
13.
13.
Wow, good
Yeah.
for you.
13.
What did I think? It
Yeah,
was 24 to 10.
13. Did I
I
stutter?
can see 24 to
Oh.
10.
I'm going to say
27
Spread's
13.
only 3.5 now.
so.
27 13.
If multiple entrants have all three elements right, there'll be a tiebreaker drawing on the next live Lunchbox show, which is going to be on Monday at Fishtails,
Yeah, stoked.
a place that Defo is
One of
set
our old
up,
stomping grounds.
and supposedly a place we're going to be able to get the Sunday gravy on Monday.
They're going to save you some.
I trust it. I
Yeah.
trust it. Kathy,
That's gonna
Kathy-
be-
And I have to say, it's as good as any I've ever had anywhere.
Kathy's
I mean,
fantastic.
there are others that
There
are great.
is.
Yeah.
Speak of the
Hey.
devil.
Others that are
Chef
great,
Jason
but
is
it's going to
here.
be fun.
promptly on time, and actually early, but
Like a
we're
coach.
gonna
We're going to pop them in here in a
we'll
second.
pop them in
Yeah.
a second. We're just gonna run through this contest
Let's do
real
it.
quick. And again, so this week's restaurant, we're gonna salute the NFL's first regular season game in Brazil tonight.
Yes, tonight.
With a
Oh, yeah?
place
Oh,
that
wow.
has, and it's good again, it's the NFL regular season game opener for the Philadelphia Eagles, Green Bay Packers. And again, for tonight's Brazil game, we're going to have a place that has enough beef and cheese to warm the hearts of any Eagles or Packers fan. You ready for this one, Defo?
Yeah.
The
Yeah, let's do
clues. This Fort Lauderdale Brazilian mainstay on Las Olas Boulevard has been slicing up tableside skewers of grilled meats since 2003, over 20 years.
Wow.
And it also has an impressive display of cheeses, veggies, and more at its salad bar, but don't fill up.
Yeah,
Too
Salad
soon.
bar is
That's the
spectacular.
thing. That's
I
the
try to
annoying
dodge
part.
it, but it
like
is
the greatest
spectacular.
salad bar you've ever
It really
seen at
is
these
great.
places.
Yeah.
Before converting to an upscale Brazilian rodizio, it was the site of a popular watering hole named Banyans, named for the big tree that still stands in the
Oh,
courtyard patio.
Banyan. Yeah.
I used to hang out there. That was a huge hangout for Sun Sentinel newspaper types back in the
Oh, it
day.
was right down the street.
Yeah,
You were there in Los Angeles.
It was great when the newsroom was on the Los Angeles, and when we actually had a staff at the Sun Sentinel.
Before they were operating out of a warehouse in Loxahatchee.
We love you, Gretch, and everybody.
No,
at the
no.
Sun Sentinel. Yeah,
I'm not mad at them. It's not their
No,
problem. It's life.
It's life.
It was very impressive.
All right,
that
number
building.
3.
Yeah.
If you change one letter, this is a Mayo clue here. If you change one letter in the restaurant's name, you'll get the world's most populated country.
Oh, yeah? Well, okay. That's
But the actual name is a shortened version of a traditional drink of the Rio Grande do Sul, Brazil, which symbolizes hospitality and friendship.
I have no idea.
All right, well,
You don't know
do you
the
know the
restaurant?
name of the restaurant?
Oh, yeah.
No.
He knows it, and
Oh, no,
Defo
you know what?
and
said-
Defo
I-
actually gets that clue, so that's all right.
I was I was a frequent customer there when they first opened up.
Yep.
And I always
Good
thought they did a
place.
great job. Yeah.
Good place.
And other places came on board of a similar type.
Yep.
And they do a good job. But I thought this particular place maybe does it the best of all.
It's excellent. It's
Yeah.
classy. It's got white linen tablecloths.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
upscale.
and you know, like you said,
and
that salad bar,
quality ingredients.
spectacular. And you look at it when you come in there, and you're thinking, "Wow, I want a little bit of everything."
Yep.
And then you realize that's the last thing I want.
Yeah.
All right, there you go. So that's the restaurant clues. You're going to want to give us the numbers 1 through 8. Winner of Saturday's 10th race at Gulfstream. That is the Dr. Fager Stakes for 2-year-old colts. And then the third leg, the winner and point margin of the Dolphin Jaguar game on Sunday. Again, send all those answers to Mke Mayo Eats at gmail.com by noon tomorrow, Saturday, September 7th. Again, if it doesn't come in by noon, it goes right into my
Ben.
the garbage bin in the computer there. So Mke Mayo Eats at gmail.com. Let's take our first break, and we're going to welcome to the show. Welcome back to the show, Chef Jason Lewis, who's
knocking out
doing
of the park here.
unbelievable. He's, as they say in the restaurant business, he's absolutely killing it.
Look at
He's
this.
killing it.
Mayo, you
This-
haven't
this
even
kid.
dug in on the fish.
Well, I'm about to get there. All right. Let's take our first break, and then we'll be back with Chef Jason after this. One of the best restaurants in Broward, J&C Oyster in downtown Hollywood. At 2035 Harrison Street, this place is fantastic and worth a drive. It's got creative, cutting-edge seafood and more with an Asian twist and gorgeous cocktails. Chefs Raheem Seeley and Monica Dominguez cut their teeth at some of Miami's best restaurants. Don't miss some of these fantastic dishes, including grilled oysters, fried chicken, and the Thai red curry crab. Open Wednesday through Sunday for dinner with daily happy hour and outdoor seating. Go to jncoyster.com for reservations and information. Tell them Mke Mayo's Lunchbox sent you. When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally. And they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks, they're open every day but Tuesday. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. If you're looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more, go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 in the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, for tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Best restaurants in South Florida? Casa D'Angelo is always at the top of my list. First-class dining, top-flight service, elegant atmosphere, and chef-founder Angelo Ilia is legendary. The flagship in Fort Lauderdale has been serving the finest Italian cuisine since 1997, with other locations in Boca Raton and Aventura. As Angelo himself says, they have an unwavering commitment to unparalleled quality with meticulous attention to details. It's so good, with house-made pastas, pristine seafood, unique meats like elk chops and bison, and seasonal specialties including fragrant fresh truffles from Italy. All locations open 7 days for dinner. Reservations recommended. For a special occasion or any occasion, Casa D'Angelo. Tell them Mke Mayo sent you. If you're looking for an exquisite sushi experience, Kaizen Sushi Bar and Grill in Fort Lauderdale is the place to go. 5640 North Federal Highway, just north of Commercial Boulevard. Chef owner Hui Lam, he's a sushi savant, slicing and serving pristine fish and seafood flown in directly from Japan and around the world. Nigiri, sashimi, special rolls, and omakase dinners. He's ruined me from going anywhere else. It's that good. Open 7 days for dinner and also for lunch. Even if you're not a sushi fan, they have great cooked options, including steaks, chops, rice and noodles, and other Japanese dishes. It's fantastic. For reservations and information, go to kaizenflorida.com. Tell them Mke Mayo and the Lunchbox sent you. Delicious Mexican food with innovative twists. Margaritas with a medley of tongue-tingling flavors. I'm talking about Taco Craft, Taqueria, and Tequila Bar. The place to go on Taco Tuesday and every day. It's located at 510 North Federal and Highway in Fort Lauderdale, and also in Lauderdale by the Sea at Plantation Walk, and soon in Coral Springs. Taco Craft has specials every day, including bottomless drinks for Sunday brunch and Taco Tuesdays with their $4 premium tacos, including their new birria tacos with bone marrow broth. Oh, it's so good. They've even made a taco lover out of me, and they've got so much more, including fajitas, that open-face smashed cheeseburger tortilla that's new, and a guacamole sample that's an explosion of flavors. The kitchen is open late. There's delivery and takeout. For more information, go to tacocraft.com. Tell them Mke Mayo and the Lunchbox sent you. All right, we're back on the Lunchbox. It's a Friday at 10 Palms at Gulfstream. I am jacked for the weekend, and I'm also very excited to welcome back to the Lunchbox the relatively new. He's not totally new. He's been here now like 3 months.
4 months, yeah.
4 months. Jason Glues, his official title. Don't call him executive chef, as I did in the past. He is director of culinary here, which
fits. I mean,
yeah.
I understand his frustrations with
has raised
degrading his title.
the game here. As much as we loved everything
It was
about
good.
10 Palms before, he is always finding ways to make things a little bit better. So kudos to you, my friend.
Thank
How
you.
are you?
I'm doing great. We got a busy week ahead.
It's another taste of the track.
We have a taste of the track coming up. So my passion, barbecue. So I'm excited.
Oh, wow. That
Before
with
we-
the Cuban edition was not your passion.
Well, no,
I can't even. Well, cool, no, but I'm just saying, like,
passion showed through in
as
the
a-
way he did things.
as a
That
born
whole
and
pig-
raised South Floridian, who my father literally grew up in right outside of Coral Gables, and my wife is Dominican, and I've traversed the Caribbean.
traverse big
Yeah.
word.
Someone who knows.
That's for FSU grad.
I have a
that's-
master's.
It's the word of the day. I'm
So-
going to use that one
Yes,
when I get
I've
to the
traversed
kitchen.
As
the
I
kitchen.
traverse
I
to the
traversed
betting windows to
kitchen.
empty my pockets.
The Latin flavor. You can do the Latin dishes, but the actual flavors are the most important part. I literally was going, where did they get this from? Oh, wait, Chef Jason's behind it. So I know they did this themselves. I can't even fathom what the bourbon and barbecue is going to be like. And this is like your backyard.
This is the sick part. You're telling us that you already got things on the stove simmering
a week out.
that like a week out. People don't realize the amount of labor that goes into
We're doing
production like this.
all the dry rubs from scratch. We got about 8 pots on the stove today doing all the house-made barbecues. We got about 9 different barbecues from across the country. Came in at 4 a.m. to put some brisket on so we can pull that to turn it into what they call Texas Twinkies.
Okay. Which is like in a jalapeno
Yeah,
with
stuffed
some
like a
jalapeno
mixed
with cream cheese, brisket
jalapeno
wrapped in
popper kind of a
bacon,
thing.
smoke it in the smoker. So.
Tell you what, a Texas Twinkie sounds a lot more appetizing to me than a Rocky Mountain oyster.
yes.
In Chicago, it's they call it a Chicago, and they add jardiniere to the
to
cream
the-
cheese
to the
mix.
thing.
And
Oh,
that's where I
okay.
first saw it.
Not bad. All right. Well, again, we're talking about the next taste of the track is going to be
Week from tomorrow.
next Saturday,
Yeah.
the 14th of September, starting at 12 p.m. with the VIP hour, which is definitely worth the little additional fundage that it requires because you get in there, basically have the place mostly to yourself, get your pick of a good table set up near the window for the racing action, and then you get also some great sips of all the premier bourbons that are going to be poured. But you are responsible for the food stations, and why don't you tell us what you got in store because it looks fantastic.
Yeah, so we're gonna treat it like you're walking into a barbecue place. So we're gonna have about 6-7 cutting boards just in our main area. We're gonna have some smoked chicken from Kansas City. We're gonna have some St. Louis spare ribs. We're gonna have barbecue pork butt, smoked turkey. So
You still got that
smoked chicken
bologna
wings.
thing going?
Yeah,
Okay. So,
so-
what is it?
So we're gonna do some Joe's
smoked
Oklahoma Joe's.
Oklahoma Joe. Don't ask me where it comes from, right? I heard about that. Right? So yeah, Oklahoma Joe came up with it, but yeah, we're gonna smoke some bologna and a little bit of barbecue sauce
This is,
seasoning. And
as somebody whose basically elementary school diet consisted of Oscar Mayer bologna
I love
sandwiches
bologna growing up,
on
yeah.
Wonder Bread with some. At first, my mom was giving me that yellow French's mustard until I threw a hissy fit and said, "I need the
Deli
brown
mustard.
spicy mustard."
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I ate a lot of bologna as a kid.
Mhm.
I've actually seen fried bologna
Fried
as an
bologna's
item
great.
a lot, and
almost like spam.
yeah,
Yeah.
it is. And but I've never actually heard of smoked bologna.
Yeah,
until
once you
this, so-
smoke it, it takes it to another level, and you just put it on a Hawaiian roll, little yellow mustard, and the old school Kraft singles where you had to unwrap
really?
them from the. You put a little
Nice.
square of that
Now,
on there, and you're in heaven.
Let me ask you this because I ate a slider during the break, and like everything else you seem to touch here, you've made it elevated because now you're, I guess,
What cheese is
using
that?
the
That's a different
Pat
cheese.
LaFrida meat. And look at this. Sliders, usually you get them and they're hammered. I
love
took
that
a
it's
bite
pink.
and it's pink and juicy
I love that it's
inside.
pink.
So
Yeah,
I would call this a proper,
Yeah,
medium
we're-
rare, medium.
Yep, and we're trying to coach them. We don't have to cook everything well done. It's such great quality meat. If you want to take a temperature, let's do a temperature. But we're trying to hit medium mid well, so you get the
Yeah.
flavor. And
Medium
this
is the
is-
way to
yeah.
go. But what I was getting to is that you've put on all these other touches where
The cheese
you have a
is different.
house-made pickle
house-made
and
pickles.
a
yep.
aioli on here, so you don't even need the ketchup. You could just eat it as is, and you put a little tomato on there too.
little
Right?
tomato, yeah, a little secret sauce, if you will, and
Yep.
yeah, the house-made pickle. You tried the chicken wings. We
Yeah,
went
those
to
were
the
great.
fresh jumbo
Big,
brine
moist.
chicken wings because you know when you brine something for 24 hours, it just makes it nice and tender.
yeah,
so.
yeah.
And then
And-
we got our chefs doing creative
We love
daily
the fish.
And
specials.
the
fish,
fish
so
is
you guys were
definitely
great.
a
We tried it. They did a
highlight
really
here.
good job
I
with the
got to
fish.
get in there, and
We
it's
love the special
perfectly
fish every week.
moist, not
Chilean sea
overcooked
bass
in the
today.
least.
No, it's nice.
I just wanted to ask though about the house-made pickles. Is that maybe going to make an appearance with the smoked bologna sandwich, or is
That's going to make an appearance, but
wow,
not
that's
on the smoked bologna. But just like when you go into a barbecue place and you get a nice slice of white bread, some pickles,
Oh,
some
you're
pickled
going like
onions. So
they call
we're-
that
yep.
accoutrement in
Yep.
France? In Texas, they just call it the
Well, my
sides.
favorite part is, and it's not only that you're having the different stations and you're having the different barbecue items. What I like is that you're actually literally embracing bourbon and barbecue, because as we do the show, I always knew there was different kinds, but you don't realize just how many kinds of barbecue there
Yeah.
are and how serious people are about each kind. It's not just like this one is a great. It's like, no, this one's great to me. This one's great to
Yep.
me. I like that you're embracing, if not everyone, almost every style
Exactly.
and their classic dish that's they're associated with.
And you really don't realize, and I didn't realize as much too until I started making all 7 sauces and all 7
Oh, it is
spice
7,
rubs.
okay.
Each place has a different,
Regional
whether it's butter
differences
in
are-
this one or molasses in
great.
this
And
one. You know,
I always get amused when people say, "Oh, there's no good barbecue down in Florida." There
We
is
have every kind of
some
barbecue
excellent
almost.
barbecue, and there's now been like some more South Florida and Caribbean spins on barbecue that you can
Yeah.
find down
Yep.
here. Things that are using cafecito rubs and
Oh, yeah,
mangoes. And again, it's all what you grew up with. So when people go on the Let's Eat group, 166,000
Wow,
out
really?
there now, and they say, "Oh, there's no good barbecue." And I said, "Well, what
Where have
kind?"
you gone?
Because you got, the Carolina style where you got the vinegar and the mustard sauce.
Exactly.
You've got the Kansas City style, which is the saucy
molasses,
tomatoes.
yeah.
You got the Texas
Yep.
style.
And
you
we
got
tried
the
to hit
Memphis
them
dry
all,
rubs.
you know.
Yeah.
Memphis.
And we actually threw in Alabama white sauce.
Alabama
you know,
has that
because
barbecue too.
I want
yeah.
to throw stuff in there that people really, and when I'm making it, they're like, white barbecue? Well,
Yes.
that's what
I
I
love
want
that
people
white
to-
sauce
Yep.
with the chicken. And,
Oh, yeah.
Well, why don't you give us a little bit of the rundown? And what I liked
As you can
about
tell,
you
we're not excited at
Yeah.
all.
and the events that you have here is like, you don't like just having stations where it's just people dishing it
Cafeteria
out.
style, no.
You want to have like a tactile
Do you understand?
experience that he had the Chinese food where he set up everything, the noodles in these little takeout
Yep,
containers with the
yep.
chopsticks. And then he had obviously the Cuban with the whole pig
But,
where he's carving it up.
I actually, the first time I went with my now wife, not even fiance, then girlfriend at the time, we went to her uncle and aunt. No, we went to a family friend's house. Her uncle and aunt were there, and her dad, uncle, and they had done the cajina, and they had the pork. And I jumped right in, and we were doing the getting rid of the excavating the pork from
Yep.
it. Right? You guys had excavated the pork, but you kept the entire pig intact, which
The skin.
real
So you could
deal.
carve up the cracklings. and
People
all.
who know it, that's probably the
Chicharron.
best part, especially when you keep a little bit of pork on it.
Exactly.
But my favorite part, and I've never seen this, he went around with a blowtorch all day, every 20 minutes,
He was
just to
freshening
make
it.
sure it would stay crisp.
nice and crisp.
And then he was personally serving it to people to make sure everyone got
Just like the
some.
way Jimmy Johnson used to
Yeah,
put the
with his
hairspray
hair.
on in the middle of the game. He would be going around with this little torch.
It was just amazing. The personal touches were really cool. I
It's
really-
great.
that's
It's,
great.
it makes the experience worth the money. And again, you can get your tickets for next Sunday's Bourbon and Barbecue event by going to GulfstreamPark.com.
Yep.
You can see a box there or do /events and you'll get right to the ticket page. But all right, Chef, give us the rundown and I'll
Yeah.
just sit here and
Just
salivate.
listen.
Yeah, definitely. So, like we talked about, we're going to do some smoked bologna sliders. We got some chicken wings that we're going to smoke, and we're going to serve it with the Alabama white sauce, which will be really nice. One of my favorite is we're going to do some smoked pork belly burnt ends.
Ooh, burnt ends.
And I'm going to do that Chicago style. I'm from Chicago.
Chicago.
I didn't hear you mention the Bears. I heard the Packers.
The
I almost
Bears.
left, but
Yeah, so the Packers are playing tonight in Brazil.
I know,
They
I
shipped
know.
them
I'll
off
give you
out
that
of the
one.
country.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
but yeah, the Bears are going to come back.
Yeah, we got some pork butts that we're gonna smoke, pull, and do a little nachos with pork butt and a nice bourbon barbecue. So I got 2 barbecue sauces that we actually added bourbon to it to stick with the theme. The same with the desserts. All 3 of our desserts will have
Bourbon and bacon.
in some way in them.
Nice.
So smoked turkey. We
Nice.
got smoked jalapeno and cheddar sausages.
Oh, I love
we
those.
actually,
That's
so great.
that we
classic
brought in
Austin,
from a very popular smokehouse out in Carolina.
Okay.
So yeah, all the meats, the spare ribs, St. Louis style. So we'll probably represent about 11 different barbecue styles from around the
Country.
United
It's gonna be
States.
fantastic. All kinds of great
Yep.
bourbons too, some pre-batched cocktails and the like. But all right, I'm going to put you on the spot. What's your favorite barbecue style?
Do you have a favorite?
Oh, you know what? To be completely honest, I love all barbecue. Doing
It's like
a
a
whole,
parent. I was going to say, is it like a parent? You're not
you
allowed
know,
to have a
that's
favorite?
the political
but
answer.
I like Chicago style.
Okay.
You
It's
know,
what you
What
grew
is
up with.
Chicago style?
Well, a
'Cause
lot
I'm
of
not
it-
even
I
familiar.
didn't know they
I mean,
had.
I went to a place
know they
called,
have it,
was
yeah.
it oh man, I used to go to a rib joint there. It was like underneath the elevated tracks. Oh God, I can't remember. The Firehouse? No, I don't even know what it was. But
you know, they use a lot more apple cider vinegar
Okay.
in their spices. They do a lot more dry rubs and not
Okay.
using wet
Not barbecue
barbecues.
sauce.
So
see, that's the correct answer. All right, forget this political. I like them all. I love dry rub. You know,
Yeah.
to me, because
Just the
that
actual meat itself.
just put a nice dry rub, let it marinate for 24 hours, then you put it on the grill, and then you get like this kind of crisp, crusty
The bark.
bark exterior,
Bark,
and then you put your sauce, drizzle a little
Yeah, do what
something
you
on
want.
it
Yeah,
at the end, but make it a personal choice.
yeah,
But
definitely.
so that's why I've always been partial to like the Memphis style rendezvous dry
Oh
rub
yeah.
ribs.
Oh yeah.
And so anyway, that's my answer. I'm a man of distinct opinions. Some people call me insufferable, but I also do like all styles. I spent a year in
Yep.
South Carolina. I got to kind of somewhat appreciate the mustard sauce.
I like a good golden barbecue.
Yeah, I love North Carolina vinegar with the red pepper flake
yeah.
sauce. That's good. So yeah, I guess I
We
can
got
see
some
where
of that going, so you'll like that.
I
yeah.
didn't realize there was 11, and he made it seem like that's not all. Like 11
No, there's
wasn't
still
every
other
barbecue.
little like we'll do some nice homemade fried pickle chips with homemade ranch. You know, some of those little sides too to
and
get in there.
what I'm digging about down here now is there are places like Smoke and Dough, our
Yep,
friends
yep.
Harry and Michelle Coleman, and the Apocalypse Barbecue
Like,
that
yeah,
are
yeah, doing some different
bringing
stuff.
in the Cuban and Caribbean influences, where you do see the cafecito rubbed brisket and
It was
ribs
nice.
are
I got ribs,
excellent
yeah, it was good.
too.
Try
So yeah, it's really exploding. And then you got places like a little bit west of here, a place called Chef Tally's, world famous jerk. It's basically Jamaican barbecue using all kinds of smoke and some dry rub with like the the hot what's it
pepper?
the really
Oh,
spicy
but Scotch bonnet.
Scotch
Or
bonnet.
habanero, yeah.
Yeah, the
Very cool.
habanero, but that's on the side. But he does like
No,
pork,
Scotch bonnet.
just
Very
like
Jamaican.
little
for jerk.
pork strips. Anyway, I digress. I just love barbecue, and you can find good
Yeah,
barbecue,
of course.
and there are even regional differences and distinctions here in South Florida. I love seeing that as a food lover. So
Oh yeah.
it's all good.
And that's one thing I was worried about when I moved down here. I said there better be some good
The
barbecue.
barbecue,
Yeah, down here they call that jerk. You know, it's
Yeah.
jerk food, but it
Yeah.
is a form of barbecue. It's basically getting smoked
Yep.
on these big, all those big beautiful barrel,
Oh, yeah.
smokers.
Smokers, yep.
Oh man, I am.
Well,
I'm ready to eat some
I can't wait
barbecue.
for
I
it
wish
to-
I could hit the fast forward button.
Yeah,
and it
for
would
next
already
Saturday.
be Saturday the 14th tomorrow. But alas, we must wait.
One more week, we'll
Yeah,
survive.
one more.
Well, I want to ask you. I know you got to get going, but last time we talked to you, you had just gotten here. You were just getting your sort of feet dipped into it. You've traveled a lot with not only just life, but cooking and being a chef and working. You've taken the styles, and what I am impressed by, a lot of the chefs love to get into the community itself, and because you guys do local stuff, you do try and keep stuff fresh and throw in the flavors. How have you found the South Florida food scene? Have you gotten out? Have had a chance? I know you're busy, but have you gotten a chance to get out there and try some places, taking in the flavors, and are you trying to incorporate that into some of the things you're doing here?
Yeah, I haven't been to the restaurants as much because I wanted to start at the farmers markets and
nice.
a lot of that. So,
Veggies, fruits.
on the days off, I've been taking the family. I think it's the green and yellow. We went
Yellow
to, or
Green
Yellow
Farmers
Green.
Market in
We went there for the first time.
Nice.
That's a
and then,
bonanza too.
A
They got
couple other ones and visit a couple purveyors in their farms to see what they're doing with their micros, their lettuces, things like that. So I hit that scene first to see, really what we could bring aboard, and then hitting the restaurants as we go, because there are some great great restaurants
In
down
due
here.
time, you'll get there, and
Yeah.
it's all
Yep.
good. But
If you have any
meanwhile,
questions, this man knows.
meanwhile, for those of you who do come out to the track, and even those who don't even really think of it, the Sunday brunch here.
Fantastic.
I met a friend last week who won the contest, and again, raising the game on the Sunday brunch buffet. Again, you're doing a lot of house-made pastries and breads and things
all,
now,
yep,
right?
all house made. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's great for the team members. They get to learn something new, and that's
cool.
what it's about too. Keep them engaged and excited about what they're doing.
Yeah, and again, it's a great value. Come on out here. You can spend the whole day. It's not like they limit you to 2 hours or 90
No, I don't
minutes.
care.
You get a table. You watch and bet the races all day. You don't have to bet. You can just admire
Just
the
hang out.
pretty
It's great.
horses. And you could go and graze like I did for 4 hours. First, you get a little shrimp and the antipasto, and then you go for the omelet station, and then you go back and you hit the carvery. And I had a nice piece of the prime rib. The carvery came out nice, fresh. They just brought out the whole new one. And I said, rare, please. And he went right into the middle.
Oh, that's great.
So
we got some Argentinian prime rib that we're going to be doing the next 2 weeks.
Nice.
That we brought in. So that'll be a treat if anybody
wanna
comes
come
in
in.
the next 2 weeks.
that sounds like a good
They do
plan.
it Saturday and Sunday. They do the brunch here.
Yeah, and again, for a cost-effective price of $55 per person plus tax and the gratuity, you get to stay all day. And Chef Jason and his crew are just, like I said, they're killing it. Every little component, you could tell they're thinking about it. There's
Oh
mindfulness.
no, I was going to say
and
detail. Attention to
there's-
detail is fantastic.
And they are, making some changes. And in my mind, they're all for the better.
Yeah.
So
Great.
keep doing what you do.
We
Kicking
will.
butt, man.
And can't wait to check out the barbecue and bourbon bash again. Get the tickets now. They cap them, and it usually will be a
Yeah.
sellout before the day of. So don't depend on just getting a ticket at the door. Go online right now, Gulfstream.com, and you'll get your tickets for the big barbecue and bourbon bash Saturday the 14th. And then that leads us into October, November. You got some new things. Got an Oktoberfest coming.
Yeah, we're going to do Oktoberfest, I think, for the first time. So we'll do some different items there, some schnitzel, sliders,
schnitzels and
brats and
bratwurst, all the
wursts.
favorites,
Yeah.
get some steins of
Warm
beer out
pretzels and
there.
all that, yeah.
That's going to be fun. And then in November, Joe is telling me he's going
With
back
the
to his
Italian,
roots.
like
Is
Italian.
the panini linguini
Yeah,
martinis.
Martini,
I got the
panini,
order
linguini.
wrong, but I got all
I think
the
it's
inis.
martini, panini, linguini. I
Yeah,
think.
and
Yeah,
that,
he's
that's
got me
gonna-
thinking on that one. He threw a curveball at me, so we'll have to see.
Well, I
have to
imagine
see.
you don't have to be responsible for the martinis, just the paninis and the linguinis. That's going to be another great event. But we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Yes.
We'll be talking about that in due time. Meanwhile, get the tickets now for Bourbon Barbecue. Anything else you'd like to add, Chef Jason? Do you have?
No, I just, it's been great being here. Great on the show. I'm glad you're liking the new elevations.
Yeah, you're
Come
killing it.
another couple
Kicking butt.
months, we'll be redoing the whole menu here
So we are going to do that
for
again.
the season. Yeah, not only here but downstairs as well. So
Let me ask you, because this is obviously what's known as the off season, down season, and how much thought are you putting into
when it
does a
ramps
lot
up.
of things need to change, or is it just because you're going to have more people here that you got to kind of think of things that are quicker,
No,
more efficient to
I don't.
knock
It's
out?
going to be hard to change because I think everything that's on the menu the guests like, and we've
Yeah.
elevated a little bit. But I'm big into seasonality, right? And even though it doesn't seem like winter down
We do
here
get
in
it, man.
Miami,
Food-wise.
vegetables, and things like that,
Right.
produce definitely need to change. So we're looking at a few tweaks, a few things to bring people in into the building. It should be exciting. Definitely our suites upstairs.
Right.
we've
And
did
you're
a
responsible
whole new
for all of
suite
that
menu.
because
Yep.
you're a director of
Yep.
culinary. So, and there are other components here besides, the 10 Palms obviously is the
Yep.
showcase restaurant. You've got all the concession stands around that you
Concessions,
have
yep.
to consider, and then of course your high rollers and the private suites and things
Exactly.
like that. And we all know the
Keeping
high
everyone
rollers,
happy.
they're not demanding at all. They don't want much. So, oh man, well,
Good
you've
luck.
got your work cut out for you, but you are doing a bang up job. So again,
Well, I appreciate that.
kudos
Man, we're
to
enjoying
Chef.
everything, man. Thank you.
All right, we're going to take our next break. But before we do, let me just put in a couple of good words. First of all, Batch, New Southern Kitchen and Tap, besides the one in Fort Lauderdale that we've come to know and love at 525 North Federal Highway, they have now reconfigured their Delray Beach location. Used to be one of their kind of sports gastropubs, but now they've gone full-on scratch Southern Kitchen and Tap. It reopened this week. Kevin is ecstatic. He wasn't ecstatic about the way
Yeah,
that
there was some issues.
his
I think.
carpenter showed up in a little bit of a state that.
Oh, really?
Well, Kevin had to end up doing a lot of the staining of the tables.
Oh, really?
But yeah, he's
He's
but you
great.
know, Kevin,
I love
he
Kevin,
changes
man. He
light
gets right
bulbs.
into it.
He cleans the bathroom. This is a hands-on
That's
owner, and it's
amazing.
part of what I
It
love
was like Chef Jason
about Bash
It was like
because
in there dishing out food.
and the thing is, staff and guests really respect a hands-on proprietor, and
Yep.
Kevin is that. Kevin and Brandon, again, they got this Delray Beach location open, converted in less than 2 weeks.
I think it was like
It's
a week and a
insane.
half or something. It was nuts.
So go check that out. We're going to be checking it out on the Lunchbox next
Next
Thursday.
week.
We'll be doing our monthly remote show, and that's at the
Delray.
Delray Marketplace Complex, they call it, just west of the Turnpike on Atlantic and Lyons Road. We'll be in there on Thursday. Can't wait to check it out. Meanwhile, you can check it out this weekend in Delray, or if you're in Fort Lauderdale, go for the great, again, Saturday, Sunday brunches with bottomless drink options and chicken and biscuits and all the other
chicken and waffles,
Southern.
but also biscuits and gravy.
Oh, did I say chicken and biscuits?
You could combine the chicken and the biscuits too.
Chicken and waffles, and then get
Yeah.
a biscuits on the side, and
you got a whole thing.
You'll be in carb heaven. All right, that'll do it for now. Chef Jason, again, thank you so
Always
much.
a pleasure.
We will see you soon, and we'll see you guys after these words. A little further inland, Luke's Seafood and Grill. That's Luke's with a C, 5511 South University Drive in Davie. Luke and Roxy, they're a great couple with great food. It's a mom and pop shop bringing the freshest fish and seafood to Western Broward. Some of the best jambalaya and fish cakes around. And Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? You can find his famous Scoobies, those sauteed crab claws, right there on the specials board most days. Oh, so good. So take a trip to University just north of Sterling today. Lunch, dinner, closed on Mondays. Tell them Mike Mayo's Lunchbox sent you. When people come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, oh, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Do you like burgers? Do you like wings? Do you like late night food and sports on big screen TVs and cold beer and friendly vibe and great people? Then you want to check out Shenanigans, 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. Go to Shenanigans, you get yourself all the good stuff, the fresh fish every day, the black and grilled wings, and of course the kitchens are open late. Go there, tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. A sophisticated setting. I'm talking about Corvina Seafood Grill. It's at 110 Plaza Real South in Boca Raton, just south of Palmetto Park Road. It's the place to go for the freshest and local seafood and fish, some of it with a Peruvian twist like their great ceviches. It's open 7 days for dinner. They also have happy hours 7 days a week. You don't want to miss it. It's a great place. CorvinaBocaRaton.com for more information and reservations. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. From a scratch kitchen, delicious drinks and house-made spirits from a craft bar, a great vibe inside and out with a spacious patio. I'm talking about Batch New Southern Kitchen and Tap, Fort Lauderdale, in the heart of the city at 525 North Federal Highway. It's open 7 days for lunch, dinner, and weekend brunch with classics like fried chicken and waffles and shrimp and grits, and creative items like pecan-crusted salmon and a fried green tomato BLT. And the drinks? Smooth sipping and so good. There's convenient free parking and a garage next door, happy hour at the bar, an entire patio, 4 to 7 Monday to Friday, and live music every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It's pet and people friendly and with cozy fire pits for when the temperature dips. For reservations and more information, go to bashsouthernkitchen.com. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, and also now with a new location on Las Olas Boulevard. Those are my spots. Upscale food in a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. Hey, it's Mke Mayo. When the Brooklyn boy in me wants a good bagel with Nova or some matzo ball soup, homemade knishes, or a great deli pastrami sandwich on rye, you know where I go? Grandpa's Cafe in Dania Beach. It's been around a long time, an institution, but a little over a year ago, a pair of New Yorkers came in, bought it, and refurbished the place. It's beautiful, and they are now serving great breakfast, brunch, lunch. They've got the omelets. They've got eggs Benedict. They've got all kinds of great baked goods like rugelach. Grandpa's is just off Federal Highway on Southwest 1st Street in Dania Beach. It's open 7 days. Go in there, tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. All right, we're back on the Lunchbox. Are we done with all the spots for today? Well, not the live spots, and I got to tell you, Dine Out Lauderdale is ongoing throughout the month of September. More than 160 restaurants in the greater Fort Lauderdale area are taking part with wonderful deals on multi-course dinners and some lunches and brunches thrown in there too. Go onto the website, dineoutlauderdale.com, to get the full array of options. You're going to want to go out and explore the next few weeks while the deals are hot, and the summer is still a little bit hot too.
Yes, sir.
DineOutLauderdale.com, and of course that's in conjunction with our friends at Visit Lauderdale and the Visit Lauderdale Food and Wine Festival. VL Food Wine. Go online and get your tickets for next January's festival right now. Avoid the rush. Get some stocking stuffers for the holiday season, and get some early bird pricing as well. VLFoodWine.com. All right, Defo, did you hit anything while you were gone?
All I can say is, oh, Canada, God shed his grace on
What,
me.
you betting Woodbine?
Bellabine happened to hit something that didn't look like it was going to pay as much as it did. Picked up a couple of hundred
Oh,
off the
nice.
20.
He's like me. His
Well, you
mood
guys are in a
brightens
nice
once he hits something.
Streak. Good for you guys.
It's good.
I love
It
it.
was very bizarre because it was one of those things where my memory is so short now that I didn't remember that I had used the horse. That was the key to the whole thing.
Wow. Do you
I
play
look back at my
numbers?
tickets. No, I did a little handicap, and it was
By
an
the
also
way,
eligible race taken
Kentucky
off the turf.
Downs yesterday.
Yeah,
A nice 12-1 shot won the feature race, the number 7 horse,
there you go.
and it was a 7-5 exacta
Oh,
in that race,
geez.
and the late double was 7-5 double.
Oh, God.
That's the 075
And
Super Seal double wheel where you wheel them in the exactas and wheel them in the doubles.
and I actually had the 7-5 double, so
Oh,
I was
wow.
happy.
You guys
There
are
you go.
killing it.
There
You
you
guys
go.
are on a streak, man.
Nice
Good for you.
one.
And
Yeah.
yeah, I'm a happy camper right now. It is Friday afternoon. Anybody got any big weekend plans?
Not this weekend.
Nothing special.
I gotta clean out
a
my
lot of
house.
football this one. Well,
I gotta
good
clear
luck
out
with
things.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, good luck with that.
You guys left a lot
I'm
on the plate here.
procrastinating.
I'm very
Well,
disappointed.
I was
we
gonna
can.
Yeah.
devour another slider,
Go
but I
for
think
it. It's all
Lubie-
yours. I
Really?
haven't-
You don't?
if
you
you
don't-
want
Luby's
it,
got
it's
designs
fine.
on that
No,
one, but
no, I
No,
think
no, go for
three
what
sliders,
you left
three
his
people.
pasta dish. I mean, the
No,
fish
we're
is still
doing-
sitting
we
there.
actually-
plenty of food. They did
For a
good.
change, we under-ordered because
We
we
tried
kinda,
to. It still looks like we
kinda-
ordered a lot.
This is a pathetic way to finish the week. Come on, we should
But
be
we will
shoveling
eat
food in
plenty
our
of the
faces.
No.
Come on.
We
There
got to
you go.
give one more
Get
shout
the
out
slider.
to Eric Anderson and
Oh, that was great. The
Chef
butcher in the
Jackie
bar. That
at
place
the-
is fantastic.
Butcher in the Bar is great. I'm going to be back there on Monday doing the judging of the
Yeah, that sounds
opening
fun.
round of that. What are they calling it? The Beachside Battle Cocktail.
Cocktail battle or something.
And it's going to be a great time on
Bar
Monday
battle.
night. And come on out there if you're up in the Boynton Beach
Boynton
area.
Beach.
Really neat area, neighborhood too.
And it's not as far as you think. Like, I mean, maybe I'm north, I guess, but it's not as. Once you get on the highway, it drives a lot smoother going north than it does.
It's like
going
another
south.
world up north. Once it's like
Oh, yeah, I was
crossing-
just up there last weekend.
It's very different.
It's like-
Once you get past Palm Beach, it's
we
a
wouldn't even-
whole
this
nother
was
world.
not even past Palm
Yeah.
Beach. It's south of
Once you
Palm
get
Beach,
past
and it still feels like a different
Del
world when
Rey.
you go off
As you go
95.
further north.
Um,
Took me about 5 hours to get up there. It should have been a 2.5 hour
traffic,
drive, too.
yeah.
Wow.
things
Yeah.
again.
Crashes on 95
When
last
you
week,
leave.
Labor
A
Day
little
weekend.
hectic. Let me give a couple of more shout outs to our sponsors. J&C Oyster, you could go in there this weekend. They're taking part in Dine Out Lauderdale, and you could
Yeah,
also
the
get
Dine
their
Out
great
is great.
happy hour menu, which is available every night they're open, Wednesday through
All through the
Sunday,
weekend. Yep.
at the bar, 5 to 7 p.m., and some of their great dishes there featuring some the oysters and crab and the fried chicken. They are knocking it out of the park, too. 2035 Harrison Street. Again, don't forget, for your consideration, Casa D'Angelo, the excellent Italian food in 3 locations. Aventura, just stone's throw behind us from Gulfstream Park, Fort Lauderdale, Boca Raton. And next week, we're going to go to his bakery bar, Angelo Elia.
Yeah, I'm stoked.
Besides having the fine dining, he still has his hand in this kind of really nice European cafe pastry.
I love that it's
feature-
like Italian pastries, but also the like GM is like French or something. So like
yeah, they
you combine the worlds of French and Italian pastries, the best pastries in the
classic
world.
European kind of breakfast, lunch, patisserie pastry joint. Great coffees there too. We'll be doing that show. I forget the day, Wednesday, the 11th, and then Tropical Acres. It wouldn't be a weekend if I said, "Hey, go out."
You
to
should be
Tropical
heading
Acres.
right back there now that you're so
Honestly,
flush. I mean,
yeah,
come
Yeah.
on.
I mean, I could get
Save some money while you're at it.
Twin Lobster Special, happy hour Belvedere Martini for under $50. Where do you get
Honestly,
2 lobsters
nowhere.
and a Belvedere Martini for under $50?
Not happening, man. I have to
Tropical
go
Not
back
even
to
the
my days of
supermarket.
going to Alan Hale's Lobster Barrel
Exactly.
in California when it was $7.95 for the lobster.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, I
This
just
was
did the
1975.
Triple Lundy of live spots. I hope Sarni awards me a high score for the degree of difficulty.
Andy Man wants to sing Bonnie happy birthday. We love Bonnie too much to do that to Bonnie. So happy birthday, Bonnie. We love you, and hopefully we get to see you soon. I know
Yes.
Mayo will see you
It's-
soon for all of us, and hopefully you'll.
It's enough
head down
that
here
I'm
and we'll see you.
staying with her. I don't want to push it by singing to her. Now. That would definitely ruin.
Bonnie,
Yeah.
reconsider. It's okay to rescind an invitation to a greedy pig who's going to take you up.
She's
on
like,
it.
2
no,
days.
she's like,
2
Val's
days.
my pal. I'm like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Holy
If Val
moly, look
wasn't
at Special
coming,
K,
what would
Mr.
happen?
FAU.
Special K's in the house, but we're out of here. Have a great weekend, everybody. Stay safe. And again,
Hey,
good
let
luck
me ask
to
you a
the
question.
Dolphins.
Is there a little Stephen Wright in Special K? A little
Definitely.
Stephen Wright?
A lot of Stephen
No.
Wright.
Special
People who
K.
are not
He's not
familiar.
as
He's our
salty as
conduit to
Stephen-
all
as Stephen
things
Wright.
FAU sports.
Yeah,
And,
big game last week. They got freaking job. They should have beaten Michigan State.
Why do
They-
we?
they
Why
not
do we
only
drive
covered,
on
but
a
they should have
parkway
won.
and park in a
They
driveway?
got screwed at the end of
That's
that
the
game.
Stephen
Wright.
Wright right there.
Stephen
And
Wright.
Tom
Yes.
Herman already showing who he is with that
That's it.
program. I'm excited for them.
All right,
Special K
we've
is all over.
babbled enough. Enjoy every sandwich.